Okay, so I realized I had done some work on the bear quilt that I had forgotten to video. So I finished quilting the main section there. And then I added the lower border panel that I was doing and got it quilted. And I added the top one next, but I haven't got it ready to quilt. So what I did was I had the backing and the batting I put on this side. The border I put on this side and then stitched them. The tedious part of this process is then you go through and there's a little bit of batting in here in between for the seam allowance and back here for the seam allowance, and I trimmed that all. That way it doesn't make a big bump. Otherwise there would be a lump there, which as this is a wall hanging, it probably wouldn't matter, but it would bug me. So now that I have this done, I'm gonna have to press this. I will either pin baste or spray baste this up there, and then it's ready to quilt. So it's almost ready to quilt that border. I'm just doing a simple quilting on that, straight lines to follow the border, and then outlining the star. And once I'm done with that border, then I will trim the sides at the top and here at the bottom so that I can put on the left side and then the right side. And then all I'll have to do is do the binding and quilt label, hanging sleeve, and quilt label, and it'll be done and ready to hang. And I'm really looking forward to that. So that's what I'm doing right this moment. I want to get this done and out of the way. I really want to get the trip quilt done, but I realize this project is very close. The thread I was using is what's on my machine, and so I thought if I get this done and out of the way, get it hanging up, that's one project done, and then it just leaves room to work on the trip quilt and hopefully knock that out. I'm really trying to focus on getting some UFOs done. So I'll go work on that, and then when I do the side border, I will try to remember to actually video that so someone can see it. I should also add that's a technique that I learned again from Ann Peterson on a Craftsy class, quilting large quilts on a small machine, or I think that's the name, similar to that anyway. Highly recommend that class. She was a fantastic teacher and I learned a lot. So I will go get busy. Okay, I'm just showing real quick. I've got the pins. I did decide to pin baste. Kind of hard to see here, aren't they? So I've got my safety pins in here, and I'm just going to close those using my little quick clip tool, and then I can start quilting. The quilting done on that top border and got the pins removed, and then I trimmed along the side, and I have marked the center point of both my border and my main quilt with my red pin. And now I'm going to pin on the border. I could try to do it all at once. I'm going to pin the border on, then I'm going to do the backing, then I'll do the batting all separate. So I'm going to go get those pinned. Okay, now we're all pinned on. Border, batting, backing. Ready to stitch it on. So this is working on trimming out that batting from the seam allowance. I'm just pulling this away so that I can trim it little by little. Takes a good little pair of sharp scissors that can get in tight spaces and a lot of patience. And then the really fun one is in between the border that I just added. You can see this little bit of batting in here also needs to be trimmed out. This is even more difficult because you have fabric on both sides that you don't want to cut. Okay, having gotten that extra batting out of the way, I then pressed this open, and now I have the pins on here, so this is ready for machine quilting. So I'm going to machine quilt this side, and then I just have the bottom side down there, or left side. I'm very excited to be getting this close. I was thinking it might take me all month, and I'm thinking I might be done with it by the end of the week. That'd be awesome. Happy to say I got the bear quilt done, and it's hung. Yay! Nice to have something crossed off the list. So picking back up again on another day where I was, we had 6 done. Here's number 7. And number 8. Number 9. Number 10. Number 11. One more to go. And number 12. This is the last one. Now they're all basted, ready to be quilted. Okay, I'm back to work on the trip quilt. Yay! Having got the bear quilt finished. So I did get this one quilted. I know I'm cheating. I started with the smallest one. I think you can see the quilting there. I'm just doing simple straight line quilting at this point. I might do some free motion quilting, especially around the blocks that have applique on them. But at this point, I'm just wanting to get it done. And I don't generally love I love the way it looks when people do the quilting to death. You know, they just do so much quilting and it looks amazing. But for me, I want to see the quilt. I want to see the block that I did. So I'm not as much I don't want to do a ton of quilting on it, and it takes a lot longer and I want to get it done. So started with my first one. My goal is to try to do one piece each day, and then I should be able to get it at least quilted before the end of the month of October. So thanks for watching, and keep you posted.